Well, Candice Camper, she's the director of Village Cooperative. She joins us now with more ways that you can help put an end to domestic violence. Candice, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
My first thought when I saw this was, are people going to go and take a quiz if they're in this kind of relationship? But you say some people do, like it really could be helpful.
There are a lot of times that in a relationship, one of the first things that is a sign that something's going a little downhill is that gut feeling.
Okay.
Like that, this doesn't feel quite right. And so to get that validated, I think that this is really a good tool to use to go through and go, okay, all right, well, no on this, but yes on this. And so I did check out the app a little bit, and I liked the information that was on it. And I do talk to a lot of people who say, I'm not sure if I'm in an abusive relationship or not, but they're very embarrassed to talk about it, very ashamed, and this is a great
We're just
opportunity.
on your own. You don't have to ask anybody on your own. You can maybe find out.
Exactly.
What are some of the things that maybe if you're in a relationship that might be those red flags that might signal to you this is not a healthy relationship?
There are a lot of red flags. One of the big warning signs is that control. Having control over your phone, having control over blowing up your phone with all the text messages all the time, having to control your schedule. And there are different kinds of abuse. So there is physical abuse, and a lot of people think of that as just hitting.
Yes.
It can also be blocking someone from going somewhere, standing in a doorway, not letting them move, interrupting sleep. There's also emotional abuse, put downs, making the partner feel like they're crazy, that they're imagining this stuff. There's also financial abuse.
I found that interesting. I've never heard of financial abuse. I've heard of it being done, though, where they hold on to every bit of money so you can't do anything. You can't get away.
And it can occur in different ways. A partner can say, oh, honey, you don't have to worry about working. You're good. And abuse happens over a long period of time, and it is a pattern of behavior of control. It's not just that one-time thing, you know. It's a pattern of behavior. And so through that pattern, somebody may set up a person to be financially dependent upon them. So when it's time to leave, you don't have a car, you don't have money for gas, you don't have any resources, any place to go.
Okay.
Is one of the key, when you mention control, one of the key issues of that is isolation, isn't it?
Absolutely. One of the big things is saying you spend too much time with your friends, you spend too much time with your family, you love your family more than you love me, and starting to distance that person from all of their support systems around them. And they can also be physically isolated in a rural community, clear out in the middle of nowhere.
Now, you brought up a good point. Parents telling their child, you need to watch out for this boyfriend or girlfriend, doesn't generally go well.
All their experience and expertise, sometimes that falls on deaf ears, doesn't it?
What do you do?
Most times. The thing is, if parents talk to their children about this before it happens, then that opens the door for you to have this conversation later. There are a lot of great online resources on how to do this. And so usually using this app, they have some good resources through that app as well about a parent saying, you know what, it's not okay for your girlfriend to be blowing up your phone into all hours of the night saying, where you at, what you doing, where you at, what you doing, and saying, so if you ever get a girlfriend that does that, and saying it before it happens, then it's easier to talk about it.
Then it's in the back of their mind too as it's happening.
So,
Exactly.
you know, have a good communication with your kids, watch out for those red flags for your kids, but also talk to your kids' friends because they might have more influence on your son or daughter than you do. It's kind of sad, but it might happen that way.
Really quickly, if someone is listening to this and they're thinking, oh my goodness, I am in an abusive relationship, what resources do we have here locally to help?
The best resource that we have is Family Services Alliance, and their crisis line is 251-HELP.
Okay.
And anybody can call that line. It is manned 24/7, and we have some great advocates that
Okay.
work here in Pocatello.
Fantastic. Candice, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks.